Hey folks, Dave Tech here. I'm outside in my garden. I thought I should do a bit of a rant. I gotta tell you, everybody in the crypto mining world is so depressed. I go all over the damned internet. What do I see? I see speculation and Bitcoin's dead and Bitcoin's gonna be $1 million and blah, blah, blah. You know what? I got friends who were in this in 2009, 2010. They got roomfuls of ASIC miners now. Okay, they're all doorstops, boat anchors. None of them live by the sea, so they're not going to recoup any of their money. Yeah, I guess we're all in it for the money, really, aren't we? Here's the problem. It's not about money. Well, maybe it's a little bit about money, but the fact is it needs to be about something that we're creating, something better. You know, when I asked my friends back in 2009, 2010, and I certainly couldn't afford to get into crypto mining back then like they could, and I asked them, why are you even doing it? This shit's worthless. I mean, really, what's cryptocurrency? It's nothing, right? Isn't money nothing? Sure it is. The difference with money is every time the Fed, or in the States or here in Canada, the mint creates new money, they give it to the banks. And what do the banks do with that? They take 90% of it and create false money. They loan it out and have you pay back at more than 100%. It's an ongoing slavery. It's an ongoing game. The biggest bubble of all, the biggest Ponzi scheme of all is money. I know we all need it. I know we all have to pay our bills, our mortgage, our hydro. Oh my God, my hydro, I'm a miner. Anyway, that having been said, some of my miner friends and my brothers in this community, I'm going to say brothers because so far I don't have any women on the channel, but more than happy to have you join. Everybody's depressed about the prices. I mean, you pay $800, $1,100 for a decent video card, and what do you make in a lousy $1.50 a day US? Why are you looking at that? Let me tell you my history. I've been in computers since 1983 when I first got my first computer. And when I watched Andreas Andronopoulos say that you know, the first time he was locked in a room for days, I completely related. I'm older than he is, but I wanted to reach through the screen and hug the guy. Because the first year I got a computer, nobody had them. I bought it from my business. I was running a cleaning service way back in 1980s when I was a teenager. I started it as a teenager. I ended up with 11 employees. Anyway, I don't want to digress there, but I did manage to afford a computer for bookkeeping. And guess what? I didn't go home. I was at my office for, well, I think I went home about once every 8 or 9 days. In fact, so much so that my girlfriend left me because she never saw me. I literally would work all day at my business, and I would be all night just doing stuff. I ran BBS, I ran FidoNet. Back when FidoNet was new, I tied into that. I remember seeing the internet when 1986, 1987, when I first logged on in Links, a command prompt. I tried telling people about the internet. Do you know what they said? They said, Dave, you're a nerd. And they're probably right. I probably was being a nerd, but the reality is it caught on, didn't it? Wish I could have made money off of that. When you're young, you don't think the same way. I'm 55 years old. There's people on my channel that are older than me, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. You think much differently as you grow older. Look up Paul Hellyer, Hellyer. He used to be former defense minister of Canada. He does some amazing speeches about what money and what the monetary system really is, which is enslavement. And so I'll go back to what I was talking about with my friends in 2009 and 2010, and I asked them, why the hell are you doing it? It's worth, what, 30 cents? Why waste your time? You guys are spending all this money, time, and electricity. Well, of course, back then, electricity was included with your rent in most places. But heat, noise, even then, the Bitmain machines running, 256K were just amazingly loud. But they were getting 100 Bitcoin as a bonus, as a block bonus. I remember them being peeved off when it dropped to 50. So I'm going to come back to this. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it just for the money? If you're doing it for the money, you're in it for the wrong reasons. Listen, I heard a story from a priest years ago, and that priest said there were two cats in an alley, a house cat and an alley cat. And the house cat's out in the alley, and he's chasing his tail, and along saunters this old alley cat. And the old alley cat says to the young house cat, why are you chasing your tail? And the young cat says, well, I heard that there's happiness in my tail. And if I catch it, I'm going to have all that happiness. And then you know what the old alley cat said to him? He said, I know there's happiness in my tail. And I know that everywhere I go, that happiness and my tail follow me. We're creating something better here, folks. Don't think about it as $1.50 per card or $1.50 per day. hang on to it. It's going to be worth, hodl it if that's what you feel you need to do, but it's going to be worth more and more and more as time goes. Take a look back 1 year at a time. Let's look at Christmas 2017. Wow, $19,000. Why did it get pumped up? Maybe because of the futures, maybe the whales are controlling it, maybe a lot of reasons, but who cares why? Let's go back to December 2016. What's the price then? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not sitting in front of my computer. I'm sitting in front of the garden because I don't care about the price. Go back to 2015. What was the price at Christmas then? 2014? 2013, 2012, 2011, 2010. I heard you could buy a couple of pizzas back then. So what I'm saying here is this. Blockchain technology, whether it be Bitcoin or whether it ends up being Ethereum or whether it ends up being some coin we haven't even heard of yet. I hear the Canadian government's working on one. I'm sure they're going to call it Canuck coin or something silly like that. But that'll be another control coin, right? Much like some of the ones existing already. USDT, for example, or was it Ripple? Anyway, I don't want to digress into that. But the reality is it's about control. And as soon as we come up with a system that's better than we've got, whoever they may be, the cabal, the evil bankers, whoever, they lose control. Who else can print money, lend it out at 190%? So I understand, and I'm not a financial guy, so please don't take my financial advice, but from what I understand, and the little bit of studying I've done in the last year on money, basically the Fed can print up $100, and out of that 100, they're allowed to loan up to 190. What the hell is that? Well, who's making all the money? Every time I went to the bank machine here the other day, I went to a Royal Bank machine because I wasn't near Scotia, which is my regular bank. I went in there, it said, warning, you're going to be charged, I don't know, it was like $2. I said, okay, what the hell? Because, you know, I'm taking out 200, so what the hell, what's 1%, right? And I took it out and I came home and I checked my bank statement and it said I took out $201.60 plus I was charged a $2 service charge. They made $360. They didn't have to pay an employee. They put a machine in there. So I'm going to go back to 1987 when I went on Lynx. Everyone said, Dave, you're a nerd. No, this is never going to catch on. Dave, computers are $5,000, $6,000. The only ones who can afford those are offices. This isn't going to catch on in homes. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'll tell you what. I spent that first year, I don't know how many times I woke up with keyboard prints all over my face because I literally fell asleep at the keyboard. Never had anything that got me that excited. Blockchain has me that excited. So when I watch Andreas Andronopoulos, I completely understand what he's talking about. Why did I get into cryptocurrency mining? Well, yeah, I was thinking money too. Of course I was. I mean, we all got to think about that. And at 55 years old, with a big fat mortgage and 3 kids finished university and one 14-year-old living with me, I really got to be thinking about money. But it can't be the end all and be all. And I'm not going to be that cat chasing the tail. However, we're at the ground floor, folks. So again, the internet. Yeah, that's not going to catch on, Dave. You're such a nerd. Why does anybody want that? The computers in the houses, they're not going to catch on. You know what? I remember in the early 90s, or late 80s rather, getting phone calls from people. I had to go on site, charge $300 to do a service call to change the time for them in DOS. That was a Sedega. I changed the time for them in DOS, charged them $300 because they were scared to touch this $6,000 machine that at that time probably cost as much as their brand new car. Yeah, internet's not going to catch on, is it? Computers aren't going to catch on at home, are they? Let's go a little further into my history, okay? Let's go into the late 80s. I think it was late 80s. I wish I had the dates in front of me, but I just didn't feel like researching. It's like 88 degrees and humid as heck here in Ottawa, Canada today, and I just thought I just wanted to do a rant, and here it is. So, I remember Apple stock going through the floor. Apple almost went broke, folks, and if you aren't old enough to remember that, you can look it up. They almost went broke, and you know what? Microsoft came in and bailed them out with a check for hundreds of, I think 500 million or 50 million or some stupid amount of money. But you know who kept Apple in business? Microsoft did. And yet at the time, Apple was a far better computer. Of course, they were far more expensive, just like they are today. And any Apple owner, try and get an Apple owner to switch back to a PC at this point. Do you know how much Apple stock? I could have bought Apple stock at 24 to 26 cents. My accountant at the time said, hey, you might want to have a look at this stock. I said, yeah, whatever. I'm into computers big time. But, you know, those Apple ones, they're made for people that don't want to know anything about computers. And you know what? Give me CPM or something like that any day of the week. I remember C. Anyway, trust me. I'm that old. Jets flying over, folks. Maybe it's a sign. Look, you're creating something better. Okay? Maybe it's going to be worth millions of dollars, maybe it's not, but I'm thinking of my kids, I'm thinking of my grandkids, I'm thinking of the great-great-grandkids and the slavery that everyone is going through with fiat money, myself included. You're going to be in debt for the rest of your life. Do you know how many people I know that are in their late 60s are still working at Walmart? These same people that work their asses off for most of their life, giving their life to a job, thinking that they actually had a form of retirement. These people invested money in bonds, in stocks, in mutual funds. They thought they were going to be retired. Most of them are working at frickin' Walmart or McDonald's. You think anybody's going to take care of your future? You need to put as much time and effort into learning how this damn monetary system works. If I'm telling you young people, anybody, young or old, you need to know how this monetary system works and what it's about. If you want to win the game, you need to know the damn rules, and you need to know how they got set and who's controlling them. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Vertcoin, pick a coin. I don't care which one you like. The fact is that the blockchain technology is going to release all of the generations. And that's why the evil banksters and all these people making $3.60 here and $3.60 there and not having to pay an employee to do it. Wonder there's no economy, there's no jobs, everybody's broke, everybody's in debt to their ears. And I look around on the highway when I'm in the car, and every single one of them driving, even around my parking lot, I look around, everybody driving brand new cars. How's the bank's car, folks? Did they call you to see how you're taking care of it? All of them. Like zombies. One person in a car. What the hell? What do we all need a car for? Because you've been convinced. Look, back to blockchain. It's going to catch on. If you think it isn't, get out of mining now. If you think it isn't, dump all your cryptocurrency now. Maybe go play the stock market. Good luck with that. Even Kevin from Dragon's Den, for those that don't know him, Kevin O'Leary, Shark Tank, the Canadian guy in Shark Tank. He says outright, even if you know what you're doing in the stock market, you're lucky if you pull 6 or 7% a year. A year! How much is the interest on your loan, on your student loan, on your mortgage? You think it's going to stay at 2 3/4%? I don't think so. Anybody who's been around long enough remembers the 1980s. All my friends buy a house in 1984, 85, 86. I thought about it. I was a young guy back then. I was like in my 20s, and I was thinking, I got enough money, I could do that. Nah, I don't feel like buying a house. I'll just keep renting a house. I had a nice house in the country, 7 motorcycles, van, a Firebird, big subs in the back, which is probably why my hearing is so bad today. You think it's not going to catch on, huh? You think that $1.50 you're looking at in your miners per card is really going to stay? Add a 0. Add 2 zeros probably. You young, it doesn't matter. I'm 55 years old. You know what? I'm stuck. Now, I'm not completely stuck. I'm making a residual income off my cards, although I'm starting to think on the return on investment. It's going to be an awfully long time at this rate. But again, go back. Christmas, what was the price? What was the price the previous Christmas? Don't make it about the money, folks. The happiness is in your tail. It's going to follow you everywhere you go. Remember why we're mining cryptocurrency. We're doing it to create a whole new system, to get rid of the cabal, to get rid of this damn fiat system, to get rid of the bankers, the control. Venezuela's gone bankrupt. Greece got to the point where even if you had $1 million in the bank in Greece, I don't know what they use, lira or something, that's Italy, right? Italy's going broke right now. It's all controlled, folks. Blockchain can't be controlled. Well, maybe it is a little bit right now, because really with a $200 billion market cap, if you've got enough money, maybe you can influence the market slightly. But when that pours in, and it's going to, and I have no doubt that the ETFs will come through. When ETFs come through, the big whales and all the big money is going to enter. They're resistant to it because that's how they make their freaking money. So I asked my accountant back in the 90s, I played a little bit of stock market back in 94, and I made some money. And by the way, in Canada, I don't know about the rules now, but back then it was capital gains tax, and I think it's still the same. You're allowed to make up to $100,000 in your lifetime via capital gains. That is, I buy a house, I flip it, I make $100,000 off that house. Everything I make from here on out, from flipping houses or capital gains of any sort, stock market, bonds, whatever, I have to declare it to Revenue Canada. And you know how much they take? 50%. Oh yeah, that's fair. 50%. Think about this. You're creating a better future for your kids, for your grandkids, and for your great-grandkids. And for those people under the age of 40 years old, don't be foolish. Don't buy into this system of slavery. Take a look at your parents. Take a look at your grandparents. Take a look at all the dead ones, your great-great-grandparents, your great-great-great-grandparents. They've been enslaved. I'm tired of the slavery. That's why I'm mining. So people keep asking me, well, the profits are down. You know what? Right now I'm looking at $190 a month hydro bills, and I'm pulling about $320, $350 a month on crypto. Well, of course, I'm not spending it back on the hydro bill. I'm putting my fiat money into it, but still. You think that's going to go down, my hydro bill? You think my mortgage rates are going to go down? You think the prices on anything are going to go down? We need a better system, man. Somebody's making all the money. You know what we used to call rich? I remember looking at loan sharks back in the 1970s. Everybody talked about loan sharks. And I wasn't that old then, but I was old enough to understand something. And that's that these guys would lend out money and they would charge stupid amounts of percentage and they'd send Vinny over to break your legs if you didn't pay, right? We've all seen this, of course, in the movies, right? Never experienced it in real life, thank God, knock wood. What do you call a credit card company that charges 28.75%? What do you call Revenue Canada when you owe them money and they're charging almost? It's cheaper for me to put my Revenue Canada bill on my freaking credit card than it is for me to leave it on the books with Revenue Canada and make payments. And that's my government, the ones that are supposed to be looking out for me. Yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm really pissed off with the whole system. At 55 years old, I look at those 65 and 70-year-olds out there either eating dog food out of a can and living under a frickin' bridge when they worked all their life and worked their butts off and were good, honest, hardworking people with something so rare that we call it a superpower called integrity. And the financial system has none of it. So no, they're not going to send Vinny over in a Cadillac to break your legs, but they are going to send over some sheriff. And that sheriff is going to do what? He's going to repossess your house. Lately, I've been watching this TV show. It's in Great Britain. I've been watching it on YouTube. And it says, if you can't pay, we'll take it away. Gotta be the saddest damn show I've ever seen. And right there, it's in your face. Record numbers of people going bankrupt. Record numbers of people in debt. And in Britain, apparently, if they put it through the high courts, they can come and literally take your cell phone out of your hand and sell it for debt. Nobody wants to be in debt. Nobody. Look, man. Women, children, we need something better. And cryptocurrency is that something better. So back to the question. When will I stop mining? When will the profits? I don't give a damn when the profits go. You know what? I know that I don't like John McAfee much as a person. I certainly wouldn't have him over for dinner. But the man knows what's going on and he's got some wisdom behind him and some experience behind him. And I will say this, he's probably right. I don't know if he's right about 2021 being $1 million, but it is going to hit $1 million. It's going to hit more than $1 million. What other currency can I break down to 8 digits? You know what? Canada threw away the penny a few years back. Seriously. We just round everything off now. It's just easier, you know. Why pay $1.21 for something when we can just call it $1.20? Okay, I agree with that. And frankly, you know, they're making it out of alloys recently, but I've got jugs folded in the basement of copper pennies. Worthless. It's illegal for me to do it, but if I were to melt them down and smelt them for copper, I'd make more money off the metal of the copper. How long before they discontinue the nickel? How long before they discontinue the dollar? Right. Create something better. Create it for yourself. Create it for your kids. Create it for your grandkids. And seriously, if you want to win at this game of life with money, and you don't want to be enslaved and in debt for the rest of your life, we need something different. We need something better. What is it Einstein said? The very definition of stupid is trying something over and over again and getting the same result and expecting a different result. Are we all stupid? No. Instead, they keep us sidetracked. Play Pokemon. Watch videos. Play games. I'm telling you, if I have any regrets at all, I look back on, geez, I knew the internet was coming, but I was too young to care. I was busy running a business, and I really believed back then if I worked my can off, which I did. Anybody back then, I'll tell you, I worked for almost 11 years. I was working anywhere, never less than 60 hours a week, usually closer to 90. And I'm not joking. I was out racing motorcycles on weekend, and I was half dead all the time because I was that tired. But I figured if I worked my can off, I'd be retired by 35, or dead by 35. And unfortunately, that's what happened to most of my friends. Don't waste your time, man. Hug your loved ones. Enjoy every day like it's the last. You know what? I go to work Monday and Tuesday. That's my money. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all that money in one way, shape, or form goes to the government. We used to call that socialism when I was studying in history class, didn't we? We need something better. You want to have Dave Tech come and do your computers for you, do your network for you? I'd be more than happy to take cryptocurrency. You want to pay me in Vertcoin? You want to pay me in Litecoin? I don't care. Because back in the day when I went to the doctor, wasn't me, but back in the day when my great-great-grandparents went to the doctor, they took in 2 chickens and they said, hey, doc, can you help us out? And the doc said, tell you what, I'll take those 2 chickens and I'll help you out. And that doctor knew that those 2 chickens were worth something to him. He could eat them. And along came somebody and said, hey, can you take this gold bar? And the guy looked at it and went, that's a piece of rock. What the hell am I going to do with that? Can't eat that. How the hell did we get tied up with money? And thanks to Richard Nixon for removing the gold tie to money back in the 70s. Damn smart move, because there wasn't enough gold, was there? The Canadian government, what is that? Down to a 75-cent dollar? Was it just like a year and a half ago we were over $1? We call it Trudeau for a reason. His dad took us from $1.10 and no national debt down to 43-cent dollar against US. Look, folks, it's by design. And if I could get nothing else, if no one else listens to this video but my own damn relatives, I'm putting it out there so that you know you're creating something better. And I'm not going to stop mining cryptocurrency. If it drops down to 5 cents, I'll still be mining it. Because I know, in my heart, in my soul, that it isn't about me. It's way bigger than me. One more thing, the bank machines. I started to see a lot of bank machines in about 85, 86 is when we really started to see them popping up all over the place. They were out a little earlier than that, but they were harder to find. No service charge, because of course they knew they didn't have to pay any employees to run them. It was fantastic. And by the way, those were the days when you went to the bank, and the bank had to be closed today because their computers were down. And I wasn't doing bank computers, but I had friends that were. You know what they told me? You go in there with an oscilloscope, local pizza place's phone number, they'd be there literally all day, sometimes all night, getting 160K hard drive back up because the damn bank was down because the computers were down. Okay? You think any of that's secure? I'm a network engineer. I can tell you right now, yeah, the servers are secure as hell. But you know what? If I'm looking to get in, I ain't getting in. I'm getting in on a weak spot. I'm getting in on the desktops. So anyway, the bank machines sort of caught on, you think? Because I told people about it then, they were like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's kind of convenient. It's going to put people out of work. Well, it sure as hell has. I go into any bank on a Thursday or Friday, where are there 3, 4 people working there? And 3 out of the 4 want to sell me a car loan. Want to sell me a... Mr. Smith, now that I have money, Mr. Smith, would you like to get a car loan? You should be driving a brand new car. I maintain if I can't afford it in cash, I can't afford it. I don't need any more debt in my life. I've been in debt all my life. It's horrible. So listen, folks, what I'm telling you outright, you're creating something different. Bank machines caught on. No one can live without them. That stupid internet thing that everybody told me I was a nerd for doing, internet sort of caught on. I look around me at the traffic light, none of them can set their damn phone down. I guess that internet thing did catch on, huh? Don't miss out on this. And if for no other reason, don't think about the money. Do it for one reason. Do it for future generations. Do it to break the enslavement. And so, yeah, I'm going to be mining. I'm going to be crypto mining. I can't afford to do a lot of it because, you know, I have a wife, kids, mortgage responsibility. But I'll tell you something. I'm going to be doing it all the way down to 5 cents. I seriously doubt Bitcoin's ever going to hit 5 cents, much less any of the other cryptos. But you know what? Even if it does, I'm creating something better. What are you doing? Sorry for such a long rant. I got neighbors going by staring at me thinking I'm a bit of a nut job. And you know what? Maybe I am. Maybe all these years of slavery, financial slavery, and trying to run like a rat on a wheel. I spent the better part of 20 years of my life working like double shifts, double hours while running a business. I've always been in business. Like I have only had one job, and that was teaching. That was a wonderful job, teaching techie guys all over North America. That was a great job. But I've been a techie guy for a long time, and I can tell you this. It's going to catch on. Now, if you bought in at 20,000 and you listen to the TV set, too bad for you, but hang on to it. It's going to be worth something. And if you don't believe that, get rid of it now. You don't belong in this at all anyway. Another big airplane going by. All I can say is I'm fed up with the system. We need a new system. And I know damn well this is that system. In fact, I know right at this point in time, if I had enough cryptocurrency, I could easily live off of it. Now, granted, if everybody hodls, it's not going to be worth much. Think about it. We need transactions and transactions and transactions, and we're all saying, hey, we want the big money to come. So I'll say it again about the ETFs. What's an ETF? Again, I'm not a financial guy, so feel free to correct me in the comments, but I had to get this rant off my chest. Futures. They knew the futures were going to come up. Why do you think they pumped the price of Bitcoin near Christmas? They knew they were coming. They pumped it on purpose. Of course they did. What's a future? Future is basically I go to my financial planner. I say, hey, look, I'm betting Bitcoin goes down in price to this by this date. And I'm betting on it. It's a gamble, right? And they say, okay, you know what? So here you go, Mr. Smith. We'll give you some paperwork. And you know what? If you're right, if Bitcoin goes down, we're going to pay you. Or, vice versa. What's an ETF? Okay, so first of all, there's nothing behind that. Okay? There's nothing behind a future. It's a freaking lottery ticket. There's nothing physical owned there. But an ETF, from what I understand, and again, not a financial guy, but maybe somebody in there will comment. Probably, I see the financial guys are even ranting. An ETF has to be tied to the product. Therefore, if I buy gold ETFs, the financial company, Merrill Lynch, whoever I'm dealing with, insert name here, anybody in the world, they have to own the gold. So guess which one costs me more? Well, of course, the ETFs, because they got to buy the gold, and they got to house the gold, and they got to secure the gold, right? Imagine when ETFs go to Bitcoin, what's going to happen? Of course, they got to buy tons of Bitcoin. There's going to be a huge shortage of Bitcoin all of a sudden. ETFs have been up for review before. They haven't passed, but I think this time we're going to see them go through, and if they don't, they'll go through next time for sure. But there are some reasons why, and you can do your own research on money. Again, look up Paul Hellyer, Hellyer. He's an old man now. He was the defense minister for Canada. He understands money. He understands the whole damn system, and I think, he's coming closer to meeting his maker. He's got grandkids, great-grandkids. And I think he understands, and I think that's why he's writing books and so forth. He's not big on blockchain, but I think that's why he's writing the books and coming clean. I think a lot of the older dudes are really coming clean because, you really change as you get older. I never thought it would happen to me, but you really do change as you get older. Anyway, sorry for such a long rant. I hope I get through to somebody out there. Man, if I was 20 years old and knew what I knew now, keep mining Bitcoin, folks. Keep mining altcoins. Keep mining whatever you can. You want to be invested in it? Great. If you're not, just remember Dave in the Apple stock. 26 cents. I should have bought stock in the companies who own the bank machines. I could have named a zillion stocks, right? Anyway, live and learn. That's what experience is all about. Living and learning. It's unfortunate that we can't learn from our predecessors. If we could, there'd be no wars. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant. I hope it helped somebody. I hope I got through to at least one person. Dave Tech out.